Peace, brothers and sisters, peace and wisdom, peace and much love. Once again, yeah, I'm back with another awesome video, but this time we are outside enjoying this nature, enjoying the beautiful sunlight, this beautiful illumination, trying to stimulate this pineal gland to its full potential. Y'all already know. Sunbathing, sun gazing, just out enjoying this good ass prana, breathing in this good ass prana, man. Mind elevation, you know, teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans one at a time the true chosen seed of the earth, the gods and goddesses of the earth. Let me stop rambling. Let me get to the point. What is the point? Now, I want you guys to zoom in on my necklace. If you see that, I'm going to zoom in for you. You see that? That is a tree. A beautiful tree. So, many brothers and sisters ask me, why in the hell do you walk around with a tree necklace on? Why do you wear a tree necklace? What the hell? Why do you do that? I can wear whatever the hell I want to wear, first and foremost. But I will explain why do I wear the tree necklace. I will explain it, so let me get into it. Lock and load. Be sure to upload, how should I say this? Be sure to download this video. I don't know how long this video will remain. Royal knowledge that leaks out tends to get eradicated, so I pray that this royal knowledge don't be diminished and that it remains online, but I don't know after I do this video. I'm not going to go too deep, but let's talk about the tree of life. Now, when you go into your Bible, I believe the Bible mentions the tree of life about like 12 times. Let me move over here because this bird is just singing away, and I don't have any problems with the birds chirping and singing. That's just their way of thanking the Most High. And but just discard the bird in the background. Try to hear me out here. Let's talk about the tree of life, okay? The book of Genesis mentions the tree of life. I believe it mentions the tree of life in chapters 2 and 3. But however, the tree of life, general in the Bible, I think it occurs 12 times. I think it occurs 12 times in 12 different verses in the Bible. And so what is the tree of life? Simply, I'm going to break down why do I wear this tree charm. The tree of life, when you break it down, when you look at the anatomy, when you go into the anatomy structure of the tree of life, that would be the placenta of the woman. Now, placenta, those of you that may not be informed on the placenta of the woman, the placenta is like an oval-shaped organ that attaches itself to the uterus. The placenta serves as a nutritious device that gives the baby nutrients. So the placenta is only found in female. It's only found in the woman. And so pregnant woman, that is, women that have conceived child, the fetus of the woman is nourished by the placenta. And so you have the fetus in the womb of the woman, and you have a cord which is known as the umbilical cord. This umbilical cord goes from the baby to the placenta. And so placenta goes back to the Latin, which means cake-like. But it goes deeper than that, because when you break down the analytics of the term placenta, it takes you back to Genesis 2 and 9. Now, in Genesis 2 and 9, it mentions the tree of life that Yahweh Elohim, which is the Lord God, it mentions the tree of life that he put in the center of the Garden of Eden. And so he placed the tree of life in the center. The Bible says in Genesis 2 and 9 that he placed the tree in the midst of the garden, but mis means middle of the garden, or middle means center. And so there was a certain place in the center of the garden where this tree of life was standing, where this tree of life resided. And thus you have placenta, a place in the center or a place in the middle of the garden, which was the tree of life. And there you have it, placenta, that place that was in the center, placenta. And when you look at the placenta of the woman, that is known as the tree of life, because the placenta nourished the fetus. This is what sustains the fetus. This is what sustains the child. The tree of life, which is the placenta. Okay? A lot of you brothers and sisters may not understand, or overstand this esoteric lesson, but just rock and roll with me. So, you have, in this placenta bag, you have lots of stem cells. Also, in the umbilical cord area, you have what they would call cord cells, I believe, cord blood. Now, cord blood is found in the umbilical cord that has lots of stem cells too. And what the doctor does, he would take these stem cells from this placenta of the woman, and he would use these stem cells to cure diseases of the sick, and also to cure people with bad blood, because we know that the bones promotes calcium, which builds blood. So your bones builds blood. Now, when you have weak bones, when you have weak bone marrow, your bones can't function and build blood properly the way they supposed to. And so people with fucked up blood, they would need replacement of stem cells. They would need the replacement of stem cells. Now these sources of stem cells, like I said, can be found in bone marrow, or it can be found in cord blood, which is in the which is stem cells in the umbilical cord, and it can also be found in the placenta bag, which is the tree of life. And so they would take these stem cells from the placenta bag, and they would use these stem cells to cure man, woman, or child with diseases. And because they would replace bad stems, they would replace the bad stem cells with good stem cells, so to speak. And so with that being said, you already have within the body stem cells that normally makes blood. Okay? But when your stem cells is not operating properly, they can promote bad blood, and you would need a replacement of stem cells. And so where the doctor goes to get these stem cells? Straight to the placenta bag of the woman. And so this is why I say, do not let the doctor cut your baby's umbilical cord. Don't let the goddamn doctor cut your baby's umbilical cord. If you did not notice, the umbilical cord will eventually detach itself automatically. You don't have to let the doctor cut the umbilical cord, because the umbilical cord will eventually detach itself automatically. So women out there, Black, Hispanic, Latino, Native American women, which are the Hebrew Israelites, do not let the goddamn doctor cut the umbilical cord of your baby. I'm going to tell you why. Because it's very hazardous when he do that. And I'm going to tell you the hazardous qualities of that. You want to go through what you would call a lotus birth. What is a lotus birth? A lotus birth is after you push your child out, you leave your child attached with his umbilical cord leading to the placenta bag. You leave all that intact. When you push your child out, you leave the umbilical cord attached to the placenta bag. And a couple days afterwards, it eventually detaches itself. You got to wait though. So in the midst of waiting, the placenta bag might begin to smell. And so you want to keep the placenta bag smelling decent. You just garnish it down with different spices like cinnamon spices, frankincense, eucalyptus, whatever spices you want to garnish the placenta bag down until it detaches itself on its own from the baby. But however, don't let the goddamn doctor clip the umbilical cord. I'm going to tell you why. If you let him do that, the umbilical cord, all right, we know that's the life source of the baby, because the umbilical cord is attached to the placenta. The placenta allows nutrients uptake for the baby, thermoregulation for the baby, waste elimination for the baby, gas exchange, blood supply to fight off internal infections, and produces hormone which supports pregnancy. That's what the placenta bag, aka the tree of life, does for that child. The placenta provides oxygen and nutrients for the baby, and it removes waste products from the infant's blood, the baby's blood. So this is the significance of the placenta, aka the tree of life. It's rich in stem cells, which provides that baby with oxygen and nutrients, and removes waste products from the blood. So when you push your baby out, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you let the doctor cut the umbilical cord. When you push your baby out, you notice how the birth process goes so damn fast? The birth process goes so damn fast, man. It's like time the woman pushes the baby out, the goddamn doctor's clamping the umbilical cord and then eventually cutting it. You don't supposed to do that, because if you cut the umbilical cord too early, you're going to cut the baby off from its 100% blood plasma. Now, what do I mean by that? Letting the doctor cut your baby umbilical cord too early, you will separate the baby from the 100% blood volume of the placenta. So when he go ahead and cut the umbilical cord, he cuts the baby off from 1/3 of his blood, because the baby only gets two. When the doctor cuts the cord too damn early, the baby only gets like 2/3 of his blood. Where's the other 1/3 of the blood plasma? It's in the placenta bag. See, most of you sisters fail to realize this. When you push your baby out, you supposed to wait until the placenta bag stop pulsating. Because when you push the baby out, the placenta bag is still pulsating, meaning that it's still it's sending blood transfusion still to the baby. So after you push the baby out, it's not over with. After you push the baby out, the baby is still attached to the placenta bag by its umbilical cord, and that placenta bag is constantly pulsating to get all that blood to that baby, to convey all that blood to that baby. And if you go ahead and cut it, you're going to cut the baby off from the 100% blood that it needs to get from the placenta bag. So you want to wait till that bag stop pulsating. You want to wait till that bag has fully done its job and the placenta is no longer pulsating. And then if you want the doctor to cut the cord after 2 or 3 minutes, then you let the goddamn evil ass doctor cut the cord. See, so that's important, man, because if he cut that damn cord too early, then your baby's not going to get all his 100% blood volume, and that's going to cause anemia in the baby. That can cause lack of oxygen in the baby. That can also cause low iron levels in the baby. You know, this is why these baby foods, such as formulas, cereals, these baby foods such as cereals and formula, this is why it reinforces a higher amounts of iron in the baby food to help that baby and nourish that baby with proper iron levels. So if the doctor go in and clip that damn cord too early, he's cutting your baby off from sufficient amount of blood plasma, which plays a big part on the baby's iron levels, and also stem cells, the stem cells and iron levels of the baby. So yeah, man. Also, letting the doctor cut this cord too early can cause weight loss of your baby, because the more blood, the more blood volume, the more weight of the baby. If you cut the umbilical cord too damn early, the baby don't get 100% blood plasma, and then the baby, gets served from his 1/3 of his blood plasma, and the baby comes out real light, man, real small. So the more blood volume is the more weight of the baby. So if you want your baby to have the proper weight, don't let the doctor cut the damn umbilical cord. I told you, man, that cord fall off on his own. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go over the stem cells and end this video. We're going to talk about the oxygen that the placenta bag conveys to the baby. So while the umbilical cord is still attached to the baby is receiving oxygen from the placenta. And this is why a baby can remain alive underwater. This is why a baby can survive underwater alive, because the baby is still, mothers that birth their children, sometimes they birth their children underwater, and you wondering, like, how in the hell the baby is not drowning? How come the baby is not drowning when the mothers birth the baby in the water? It's because that the placenta, man, providing the oxygen for the baby. So, you know what I'm saying, while this umbilical cord is still attached to the baby, you got to understand that, yeah, man, the baby is also attached to the placenta, aka the tree of life. And this is why the baby can breathe underwater. See? So it's not until they hit the air. After they hit the air, the breathing reflex stops. Or like, you know what I'm saying, it's fully stimulated. So this is why the baby come out screaming and hollering and crying, because they would call that the soul dances with the child for the first time, because it made an agreement with the third dimensional frame. So I want to talk about stem cells, and then I'm gonna close it out. The reason why the doctor is so tight on getting the placenta, man, the stem cells, man, the stem cells. So the tissue of the placenta contains rich stem cells that they need. They need these stem cells. That's pretty much it. The placenta attaches to the wall of the uterus, and the baby to the umbilical cord. That's pretty much it, man. So keep in mind that the tree of life, esoterically, is the placenta of the woman. And when it says in the Bible that the Most High cut Adam and Eve off from the tree of life, that's basically a baby that's getting cut from the placenta, which hooks to the umbilical cord. When the doctor cut that umbilical cord, that's that baby that's getting cut off from the tree of life, which is the placenta, man. Like, eventually we get cut off from the tree of life, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to look at the umbilical cord on our level today, the umbilical cord for us would be the silver cord, because once the silver cord is clipped, then that's called death. Most likely you're going to wake up into another reality. So the silver cord conveys vital energy to these bodies. What you call the silver cord, it mentions that in Ecclesiastes chapter 12. At the hands of death, the silver cord is loosened. The silver cord is what you call the etheric cord, or you can call it the life thread. And that is what provides the body with prana, which is nothing but life force. And if you cut the silver cord, that totally separates the fourth dimensional being, which is the spirit, from the body, man. And the spirit returned to the Most High who gave it. And that's called death. And just like you cut the umbilical cord from the mother that's hooked to the child, that is called death, man. Esoterically wise. And so when it talks about someone being cut off from the tree of life, that's just the baby. Whether this baby is a girl or a boy, that's just the baby that's cut off from the placenta of the woman, man. So I hope this lesson was sufficient. I hope this lesson was enough for you brothers and sisters. Didn't want to go too deep, but this has been another wonderful lesson. Peace and wisdom, much love. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Please support Solid Foundation Israelite Academy as well, man. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. To now, to then, or whenever. Shalom.